Welcome to this tutorial on how to change a user name. Before we begin, there are two recommendations regarding this tutorial. 1. If you are replacing one user with another and plan on reusing the phone and phone number, it is recommended that you delete the original user account and follow the Add a New User process. 2. If you are modifying and changing an existing user's name, it is also recommended that you change all of the fields that contain various forms of the username. This is important because there are benefits to maintaining a clean and consistent database. By only changing one or two fields that you need right now, you are adding the potential to introduce problems in the future, because in the future, someone, and maybe it's you, might make a change to this account. And are you going to remember that you only changed two fields? So do yourself a favor and change all of the fields that contain remnants of the username. Or, your other choice is to delete the account and rebuild it with the new username. This way, all fields will get populated with the new and correct username information. My final thought on this: if you're going to delete the account, then pull the record on how the user account was built. And before you delete the user account, I recommend reviewing and verifying the account settings. While each user is unique, here are some general settings I would be reviewing. There may be more information needed, but here's a good list to start with: their phone number, email settings, service pack, phone template, phone type, phone devices, and any additional services such as BLF, call forward, and speed dial 100. So with that said, consider this tutorial a lesson in locating and understanding the various fields that use the user's name. Most obvious is the name displayed on the phone. There is a system user ID. There is a calling line ID. There is an authentication section. Depending on the format that your organization uses, the phone device ID may include the user's name. And if communicator is used, there are additional fields under the Credentials tab that use the user's name. So let's take a look at each of these fields. We'll be looking at Gina Wilson's account. From the main menu on the left, click on Provisioning. Then click on Users. Select your group. Make sure Advanced is selected in user mode. To narrow the search, I will search by last name, Wilson. There is Gina Wilson. To the right of her name, click on Edit. With the User tab selected, the first field we will look at is under the ClearSpan User section. The last name and first name fields control what name is displayed on the phone. Under the name fields is the email address. This is used in conjunction with system-generated messages. For some organizations, it is used to send a welcome letter. Scroll down to the User Information section. In the User ID field, this is used as a system user ID, and if communicator clients are used, this is the username to log into the client. The next section is Calling Line ID. This is the name that will be displayed when Gina Wilson makes an outbound call. Scroll down under the Authentication section. The name field is used with the authentication process when the phone boots up and requests service. Let's scroll back up and click on the Phones tab. In the Phones Device section, the user's name may be part of the device name. Some possible devices could include the desktop phone and communicator clients. The device names cannot be changed. The only way to change the device name is to edit the phone device. Delete the device. Then you would create a new phone device and assign a new name. That is all of the fields under Users that could contain the user's name. There is one more place where the username would be displayed. That is in the Communicator Client application under the Credentials tab. These are system-generated fields, and some information cannot be changed. So that was a look at the different fields that may contain the user name, and this brings me back to where we started. Most of the fields can be modified in one way or another. There may be times when you need to modify one of these fields. But, as a standard practice, If you're reassigning a phone and phone number to a new user, then delete the account and add the new user. For an existing user that needs a name change on a field, you can change that field, but you may find that it's quicker to delete the user account and add a new user account rather than changing all of the username fields. This concludes this tutorial on how to change a username.